Hello, my name is Leon and I'm part of Total Refusal, digital disarmament movement, a pseudo-Marxist media guerrilla, and we are intervening in contemporary video games, appropriating their vast and ever-growing spaces, their beautiful hyper-realistic world, in order to implement different narrations on the top we found there. And we're also using this material in order to make visible what's hidden beyond the glossy surface of the texture of the game, which is politics.
Hello, my name is Robin Klengel.
Hello, I'm Michael, and I'm also part of Total Refusal.
Yeah, this is in fact a very good observation. Foucault is very important for the work. Even though Foucault wrote about many institutions in regards to the question of order and discipline, such as the prison or the hospital, prominently, but not so much about the question of military discipline and the question of the military in this whole process. So we were inspired by a book by the German sociologist Ulrich Bröckling, which I can highly recommend. It's very interesting to read. It's called Discipline. And in that book, he takes kind of from a Foucauldian angle a view exactly on this question. How and why was discipline realized with and through the bodies of and minds of the soldiers in war? What did motivate them to fight? What forced them to fight? And in fact, this really changed a lot during the centuries. And also how did the disciplinary machinery evolve and transform? And yeah, we thought this is such an interesting and undiscussed part of history and of the history of discipline that we decided to dedicate our film also to that regard and to the question of how deserters actually shaped the course of history through their actions.
While the idea for our film had multiple origins, some of which lie in our contemporary political environment as well as in anti-war literature, the main inspiration for the project came about when playing the Battlefield game series itself. Games nowadays are very polished, streamlined experiences, designed to limit the space for reflection and instead channel players' actions into the scope of the intended gameplay. In games like Battlefield 5, it's indeed quite hard to be disobedient. You can't throw away your weapons, your movements are restricted to what's useful in combat, and if you try to leave the combat area, you're executed by the game. This really makes games like this one quite an obvious territory to negotiate the topic of desertion and disobedience, as there are interesting parallels to draw between games and our cultural landscapes as a whole. Since How to Disappear was filmed in live games with other participants, there was also this draw of experimenting with other gamers to confront them with the topic and capture how they react to disobedient team members. Plus, really, desertion in general is still an under and often misrepresented topic today, which is something that demanded a closer look given the relevance of disobedience in our current political climate.